Hello, Vermonters. This is a bit of a roller coaster discussion here that's going to weave in some different things, including farming and death and lying and Front Porch Forum, and how it is that we come together and be civil to one another to solve problems. And that's a big handful. And it starts with really Front Porch Forum, which for years I've been told by people that it's extraordinarily biased against conservatives and their viewpoints. Of course, it pretends to be conciliatory and bipartisan and all lovey-dovey. In fact, it is a supposed Vermont benefit corporation, which is a special moniker that means nothing. They seem to be a privately held company for profit, but they have a pretense, much like the mainstream media, of being open to all sides. So what I have here is a case to prove that that's false, in this instance, if not many others. But also it's about people who, when they don't want to consider the words I'm saying, or if I'm talking about the problems with critical race theory or gender indoctrination of children and social emotional learning, or the pension crisis created by the progressives, or the horribly regressive nature of the renewable energy programs in Vermont, while Dave Zuckerman and others, the elite millionaires, pretend to be saving the world, and they're doing it on the back of low-income Vermonters. And so instead of talking about all those factual issues that I, as an attorney and a person who studies things and writes articles, can prove, they attack me personally. And I've got kind of used to this, and I've decided to just be nice back to them. But it's amazing how far they have to go to create things to attack your character for when they don't want to talk about the facts. Now, what happened in Front Porch Forum, I've only ever posted once in Front Porch Forum, and a woman here in my community wrote, "The white husky came again, but this time he attacked our chickens, killed one, and ran away with it. This is not acceptable. Control your dog. He is not welcome on our land. Whoever the owner is, contact me via this post to let me know how you are going to replace the chicken and keep your dog away from my home." Now, having been a farmer for decades now, we've run into these problems, and apparently the dog, obviously by nature of this post, is they don't know who the dog owner is. They don't know where the dog is from, and it's not the first time it's happened. From the post we see, this has been an ongoing problem. And so I posted a comment, and I said, well, legally, you can shoot the dog under Vermont statute that's killing your chickens, and it would be better to find out who the owner is, etc. Well, I didn't know about it, but apparently someone took exception to this and decided to weaponize it against me. Her name is Linda Garrett. I don't know who she is, but apparently she was very upset about my post. But rather than just comment on that post, she posted a new post that Front Porch Forum, that's so magically honest and everything, as we'll talk about, isn't. They posted this as a new post, and it's titled, "Shoot First, Ask Questions Later? No Way." Here begins a dishonest character attack on me for something I didn't say. She says, Linda Garrett, and this is back on Ridge Road in Brookfield. So I've driven by her house many times, I guess. "Responding to an understandably upset person who lost 2 chickens to a rogue husky, your advice, John Clark, is to shoot the dog? Yes, that may very well be legal, but where is your compassion and desire to know more before using a firearm to achieve vigilante justice, before killing the dog, someone's pet? Talking with the owner is the best and only prudent action. Mistakes happen. I've seen countless requests in this very forum for pet sitters. Imagine a 10-year-old child watching someone else's dog as a first job and the dog gets loose. Normally, I would express my outrage to you directly and privately, Mr. Clark, by hitting the email author button. But I'm choosing the reply to forum choice instead because I understand that you are a candidate to represent Orange County voters in the Vermont Senate in the next election. Your response to this unfortunate situation tells us all we need to know. Elect you to the Vermont Senate? No way." So whether this is a separate post or however this went up, I'm not really proficient in these things. I guess it created a flurry of hatred against me. I got an email saying, "Oh, you're a dog killer." And this is all the furthest thing from the truth. And by the way, imagine a 10-year-old who's house sitting for someone's chickens and they come home and find they're dead because somebody's dog killed them. This is histrionics. And by the way, Linda Garrett, you've lied. That's not what I said at all. And it's vigilante justice to protect one's livestock. Now, aside from the issue of valuing dogs that are pets or other animals above food-producing animals, which is an odd quirk of modern society and the opposite of the way things used to be. And I do care about dogs, as I will discuss. I wrote this response to her post. I wrote, "I'm sorry that Linda is so upset and dishonest. I never said shoot first, quite the opposite. Then you attack me with histrionics and lies. I will try to explain it again as an experienced farmer and mediator. You have a rogue dog that is killing others' chickens. This is not the first time. Chickens take 6 months to raise to produce eggs. Organic grain is now almost $30 a bag. But the pet is more important than the food animal, so you propose to let it run wild and keep killing. An analogy might help you with your emotions, Linda. It is the law that if a car hits a cow, the farmer is liable, even if the driver is reckless. How unfair to the cow. Imagine the 10-year-old finding the cow house sitting. Perhaps, I didn't write that, but perhaps you will create a false posting and say I am advocating to drive over cows. But the law is logical. A loose cow can cause a driver's death. And this law makes farmers maintain good fence lines. That is, it creates good policy. If someone's dog is killing others' animals on their property and gets shot, then it is much like the cow and the fence. The dog's owner is responsible for its death, just like the farmer with sloppy fences. Here is the best solution. Identify the dog and tie a dead chicken to its neck and leave it there until it rots off. The dog will never kill another chicken and keep its own life. But there is no statute for that one. It takes a community to raise a child and also to stop a nuisance dog. But Linda and others would prefer to let the dog terrorize freely like a repeat criminal rapist and unleashed on their neighbors while lying about me for saying the truth about the law and proposing a viable solution. Maybe the city mice just can't understand the life of country mice and want to ban all chickens? Either way, the histrionics against me suggest some people in the area require some therapy in order to communicate maturely with neighbors. No wonder a single nuisance dog can't be handled. So, Front Porch Forum, as I expected, refused to publish that. And they wrote, amongst other emails, "We won't publish your posting below because it doesn't comply with Front Porch Forum's terms of use. Specifically, Front Porch Forum should not be used for public shaming or for leveling accusations or insults. Speaking generally about a controversial topic is welcome. Heatedly singling out specific neighbors is not," which is what she did to me, of course, with a lie, by the way. "Please note that Front Porch Forum discourages heated singling out of neighbors. However, questioning the statements and decisions of individuals running for public office is considered in a different light, as their performance is more open to discussion. If you'd like to rephrase your posting to shift the focus to the issues instead of Linda Garrett, we'll take another look." Well, no, I don't want to take another look, Front Porch Forum, because I knew you were going to do this. And of course, you're complete hypocrites, and the law does not protect you to level actual malicious lies against even a public official. And Linda Garrett attacked me as a neighbor, and I was responding the same way. So you're trying to give her some kind of special license while you post her lie and defend me or prevent me from defending myself by the truth. And you kept our neighbors from finding out the truth about me, or even some logical ideas about finding out who the husky owner is. Some people want to kill the husky owner. I do not advocate for that. So I wrote back and I complained, and they wrote, "Hi, John," Front Porch Forum, Fraud Porch Forum, I call them. "Sorry to hear about any upset." I wasn't upset. This is predictable, and it's amusing to me. To be clear, Front Porch Forum doesn't stand with any particular members. However, we do decline to publish postings on our private service, money-making service, that violate our terms of use by leveling personal attacks against neighbors. Many Vermonters of all persuasions manage to post successfully about a wide variety of topics without violating our common sense rules. We welcome participation by all, and we're holding our ground on civil discourse. Well, this is called malarkey. I mean, if you look on their site, they're all for social justice and racial this and that, and they're going to monitor, prevent disinformation. They have more monitoring this year, even as their profits are up. So let me talk about what's really going on here. What's really going on here is an attack against me. It's a character attack. And as I say in an article that's going to be on Vermont Daily Chronicle, it's kind of a long article because it's about farming, and it's about how farmers, we deal with death, we deal with it very regularly, and it's horrifying, and it's real, and it's humbling, and it gives us gratitude for our food and our life. And that seems to be what's missing from a lot of people who get their food wrapped up in plastic or live in Vermont for a little while and raise a chicken or two and suddenly think they understand it all. Now, I'm just saying there's a humility in farming. And the only dogs I've ever shot are my own. And as we sit here now, I have a 17-year-old and 2-month-old border collie. And as I mentioned in the article that I wrote last week, she now is suffering. And I probably will shoot my own dog. But if you don't shoot the dog and you don't rein in the killing, then you're actually allowing other animals to be killed. And that's not a balanced community. That's not a good rapport. And you're just going to have more vigilante justice, like people who want to shoot the dog owner. And so these are why we have the law that we have, and why some people maybe, and what I think I wrote in the original post is, if you threaten to shoot the dog, then maybe they'll take it seriously. Oh gosh, vigilante justice. I'm probably going to shoot my dog rather than let her suffer anymore or wait to go to the vet, which would also stress her out in a strange environment. Because when you slaughter your own animals in a humane way rather than the factory way, then you understand that we're all going to die and that it's important to prevent suffering. This post and this ridiculous lie against me that was platformed on Front Porch Forum according to the rules of civil discourse. By the way, my response was much more civil than the lying attack on me. And I've had others attacking me. And this was the goal. This is what I deal with all the time. They call me Ku Klux Klan, not knowing about my background working with people of color all over the world, hundreds of them. It doesn't stick on me. And this doesn't stick on me either. Because the whole lie is that I would shoot dogs. I never said that. And if you read the article, you'll understand that more and more we want others to do our killing for us, including the dogs. But what about Front Porch Forum? And what about telling the truth? And what about not pretending to be a balanced forum when actually you're a fraud? Now, if you wanted to sue me, then I can countersue for malicious actual malice, it seems to me right here. This is totally not what I said. And then you wouldn't even post my response, which had, as you see, some cogent advice. And by the way, the chicken's already dead, so to tie it to the dog sounds horrible. A farmer taught me how to do it years ago, and we did it. And we saved ourselves from having to kill a dog. I killed a dog once who had bit 2 other people, and he was a Maremma, and he was out of control. And I had a responsibility to not go around because of my feelings and let my dog eventually would have perhaps maimed someone or killed them. Now, I got this scar down my nose when I was about 2 from a Doberman Pinscher German Shepherd, and it scarred me for life. And so nasty people, kind of like some that I deal now, called me Scar Clar. Throughout my childhood, I was traumatized with that. Okay, this is my life, and I'm not here to whine about it other than to say that I wonder if that dog was shot. And I wonder if a parent, and I know children who have been mauled by dogs, and the statute says you have to pay their medical bills, but who's there for the teasing and the bullying that they go on with? And here we see a similar kind of attack by Linda Garrett. I'm not supposed to call her a liar. I'm not supposed to suggest she could get therapy or should get therapy, but my opinions and those facts are a lot more valid than lying about me and trying to attack me and my character using a lie, enabled by Fraud Porch Forum. Fraud Porch Forum advertise about how lovey-dovey they are, like the mainstream media, pretending to be unbiased, and they're not. And I have dozens of people who would agree with me, because that too could be a defense in a suit for daring to question them. But I'd rather talk directly to Vermonters here, because this is a public forum. If people want to respond or otherwise, they can write to Vermont Daily Chronicle or others. But this is the kind of nastiness I deal with all the time. And I just have to be nice back to you. I have to say, Linda Garrett, maybe you should look at my farming policies and how I want to help farms for you to have more local healthy food. Maybe look at what I've been writing about for the pensions and how they're underfunded and they've been grossly mismanaged, and how I have the experience as a tax attorney and a mediator to bring both sides together to solve this problem rather than pit teachers and state workers against taxpayers. And maybe also we would talk about how we handle dogs who kill cats. And how it is that, and other animals, and it's a pet versus a pet, and how we're to coexist or have a community if we have a forum that's fraudulent and we can't even have fair civil conversations. I've written to some of the people that attacked me. They don't write back because it's all a lie. So you Vermonters can understand where I'm coming from, I think. I'm not telling anybody to go out and shoot a dog. I've never shot anybody else's dog. But there are times when we do shoot a dog. And there are times when we do protect our animals from others who are irresponsible with theirs. And it's irresponsible and kind of mean-spirited to attack a person with lies behind their back knowingly and then make an excuse of it because they're running for public office. Because I'm still your neighbor. And I'm probably going to be your senator. And I'm still going to listen to you, Linda Garrett, when you come to me and have an issue. And I'm going to do it with compassion and without prejudgment, because that's who I am. And that's part of what being an attorney for decades and working with people in all kinds of horrible situations has helped develop my character to be. And it's also what being a farmer develops your character to be. And those are the reasons why I am qualified to be your senator. And I am not disqualified for advocating vigilante justice to shoot a dog, because I never did. So this kind of slander is what people on the far left use when they can't talk facts. And what I'm finding is there are a lot of moderate Democrats who are getting together with moderate Republicans and saying, you know, we can fix these problems together, and we don't agree with this kind of extremism or acerbic hatred on either side of this political spectrum that Porch Forum or Front Porch Fraud pretends it does not fuel. That's not bringing more demonstrable community resilience, which is what they say they're going to do. What they're doing is profiting, and they're agitating, and they are filtering information to help perpetuate a lie against me, a political candidate, just months before the vote, and then covering up and preventing me to be able to open forum respond because I might have attacked a neighbor who lied. Look it up in Webster's. It's called a lie. And so I invite you to look at my full article. I'm always grateful that you listen to what I have to say and that you're asking for my signs and you're looking and reading my articles, and that you're going to vote for me in November. And so I ask you to learn more about me, not less. And I'm very grateful always that Vermonters are willing to listen to both sides fairly in an open forum.